our NBC News White House correspondent, Ali Rafa. Please, Ali, what's going on?
Yeah, Katie, in just the last few minutes, we have received a statement from the Department of State talking about a difference and a change in the travel advisory for Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. And I want to read you a piece of this updated travel advisory that we just got. It reads in part, quote, that it is updated to reflect the authorized departure of non-emergency U.S. government personnel and eligible family members for U.S. Embassy Jerusalem and U.S. Branch Office Tel Aviv. The travel advisory warns about terrorist groups, lone actor terrorists, and other violent extremists potentially being able to plot attacks in Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. It says terrorists and violent extremists may attack with little or no warning, targeting tourist locations, transportation hubs, markets, shopping malls, and local government facilities. It adds violence can occur in Israel and the West Bank and Gaza without warning. There has been a marked increase in demonstrations throughout Israel, some with little or no warning. And Katie, this comes just about an hour after a U.S. official familiar with the evacuation plans for Gaza told me that the U.S. reached a tentative agreement with the Israelis and Egyptians to be able to use the Rafah border crossing. That's the sole border crossing between Gaza and Egypt to be able to allow U.S. citizens safe passage into Egypt from Gaza. But this official stresses that the situation remains extremely fluid on the ground, and they caution that they're not even sure whether Hamas terrorists will allow the flow of people to that border. So we're asking a lot more questions about what the process is going to be like, when that would be accessible, what that filtering and processing process would look like for those Americans that would come to that border crossing. And in addition, what happens after they get to Egypt? What kind of help and aid is accessible to them once they do reach that? Of course, we know that between 500 and 600 Americans are living in Gaza, and some of them are among the roughly 1 million people who are potentially displaced, who have been subject to that evacuation order by Israeli officials that was given yesterday. So a lot more questions we're asking about this. But as I mentioned at the top, we have this new updated travel advisory by the U.S. Department of State for Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. Katie.